answer is no. It is more blessed to give than to receive. I only need $5. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. $5 is a lot of money, Patty. It's Mom's birthday Saturday, and I haven't got a dime. You know how the family is about us buying birthday presents with our own money. Why did you spend the money on that sweater? I never could resist bulky knits. Huh? Sorry. Good morning, Aunt Natalie, Uncle Martin, Ross.
Good morning, dear.
Good morning, Kathy. Patty?
Hi, Group. Listen to your horoscope, Patty. It says you're wicked, stubborn, and hate animals and children.
It does not. Let me see that. Where did you get this?
I traded it for 2 comic books.
You got taken. Listen to what it says about you, Papa. You're a Virgo.
I am?
You're incompatible with Sagittarius, Gemini, and Pisces. Mom, you were born...
I'm a Pisces.
Now she tells us. And all these years we thought we were happily married. According to the stars, we were miserable and didn't even know it. Well, I better get going. I have an editorial meeting this morning.
Today's the 16th. It says here Virgos mustn't drive today, not before 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm afraid the meeting won't wait that long. And even us Virgos have to make a living. Bye-bye.
Bye, dear.
Bye, Dad. Listen to this. Because of the conjunction of Uranus and Venus in the early hours of the day, care should be taken to avoid automobile accidents.
That's a lot of silly superstition.
Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette. Our Patty loves to rock and roll. A hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet. Still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are 2 of a kind.
Does that feel better, darling?
Natalie, I wish you'd stop making a fuss over me. I mean, it's just a little bump. Ooh. That idiot pulled out from the curb without even looking. And he dented the whole side.
Oh, can I see it?
The side of my car.
Perhaps you shouldn't go to the office today, Martin.
Of course I'm going to the office today.
Papa, it says here that
I don't want to hear it.
it really seemed to work. It warned you.
Now, don't start that again. It's a lot of superstitious nonsense.
That's just what I was saying, but be extra careful today, will you, Martin?
Wouldn't it be wild if this really worked?
Don't you think that if the people who wrote these books knew everything that was going to happen, they wouldn't have to write these books? Excuse me.
Hey, I'm taking a history test today. Would that thing tell me whether I'd pass or not?
How do I know? I don't do this for a living. I just... got an idea how to get Mom's birthday present. You're not really serious about this, are you, Patty? Of course I am. Everybody's interested in astrology. There's a fortune in fortune-telling. But you're not a fortune-teller. I am with the help of this book. And who's going to pay you for a reading? I'll show you, cousin. Here's my first customer. Susan? When do we go to her birthday party? In November. Right, November 3rd. She's a Scorpio. Boy, is she in trouble.
Hi, Patty. Hi, Kathy.
Are things better between you and Alan?
Has he been talking to you? That rat. And they say girls can't keep a secret.
He hasn't talked to me. I haven't seen him in a week.
And then who told you?
How you feeling?
How'd you know I had a sore throat?
Mercury is very strong in your chart this month. You have to watch your health. By the way, why don't you wear your new dress tomorrow? You're gonna meet a dreamboat.
I am? Well, how do you know?
Sorry, I have to go now.
Hey, wait a minute.
If you want a reading, I'm available every day, 4 to 6, 25 cents. Bye.
Hey, what's with her?
I'm not sure, but I think she's planning to replace Nostradamus. Boy, the Gemini's in trouble.
What are you doing?
Playing polo.
Where'd you get all these books and charts?
The library. Do you know? I memorized the whole zodiac chart.
I need some advice.
From your sister or from the stars?
From the stars.
That'll cost you 25 cents.
Boy, you fortune tellers are murder. Okay.
What's the problem?
Well, I'm going out for Little League Baseball. There are only 2 positions left open, pitcher and catcher. I was going out for pitcher, but Scotty Sheldon's going out for that, and he's pretty tough competition.
So you're asking the stars if you should try for pitcher or catcher. All right. You're Taurus.
Taurus?
The book.
Is that good or bad?
Here we are. Taurus. You are sophisticated, a good administrator, and have inflexibility of purpose.
Gee, that sounds like I'd make a great pitcher.
You are a faithful husband, but there is violence in you.
All I asked was whether I should pitch or catch.
When do you have to make your decision?
Friday.
Friday. That's the 19th. Taurus, the 19th. You are standing at the crossroads.
That's me, all right.
But don't be swayed by deceptive influences. Strike out with all your might. Strike out. Sounds like you're going to be a pitcher.
Gee, I don't know how to thank you, Patty.
You're a satisfied customer? Send your friends around. Bye.
Hi, Patty. Are you busy?
Hi, Sue. What are you doing here? Sit down.
Can you really read fortunes?
So far, I saved one man's life and another man's career. Tell me your problem.
Well,
don't be nervous. Stars and I are your friends.
Alan and I have been going together for 6 months, see? And last week I found out while I was at my aunt's house, he was out someplace else doing something else, and I don't know what it was.
Anybody home?
In here, Martin. Are you feeling better, darling?
If you're referring to that little bump on the head this morning, it was nothing. Hello? Who? I don't know. Just a minute. Is Richard here?
He's upstairs with Patty.
Yeah, just a minute. Oh, hello, Richard. This call is for you. Don't mention it. You know, those kids are never off of that phone. I tried to call here for 2 hours this afternoon.
I told Fran about your accident this morning, and she said that a fortune teller told her not to take a train, and the next day there was a terrible train accident.
Natalie, coincidences happen a dozen times a minute.
I know. Still, was odd.
Boy, you sure are lucky to have a daughter like Patty. With her advising you, nothing can go wrong. Well, gotta go.
Richard, just a minute. Did Patty read your horoscope?
Did she? She's incredible. She told me an aunt of mine from the north would be coming to visit me to give me some money.
And you really believe it?
Well,
Richard, does it seem even remotely logical to you that dead pieces of matter floating around in space millions of light years away from the Earth could possibly have any effect on your daily activities?
Well,
Use your common sense, boy. Now listen, If what Patty told you was true, that would mean that all the thousands of people who were born at the same time as you would now be rushing home because a rich aunt from the north was coming down to bring them some money.
Well...
Now, doesn't that seem ridiculous?
Certainly sounds ridiculous. Well, gotta run. Mom just called to say that my rich aunt just got in from Canada, and she wants to see me right away. Bye.
You know, Patty is just amazing. This is my third reading. She told me I was going to meet this dreamboat, and I did. Well, now I stopped seeing Alan. I was going to be a nurse, but not anymore. My stars say I'm going to be a model.
You can go in now. Did she tell you anything?
She just changed my whole life.
What'd you say?
Well, you know how everyone laughs at me because I'm so clumsy and I'm always dropping things?
Yeah.
Patty says I'm going to be a brain surgeon.
What's going on here?
Oh, we're waiting for Patty.
You mean you're all lined up here to see the soothsayer of Brooklyn Heights?
She's in her salon.
Her...
Scorpios face a restless week under the influence of Neptune. The only place in the world where things are good for Scorpios is Australia. If you can't go there, the next best thing is to stay in your room.
I will.
I have a patient.
Forgive me for interrupting. I'd like to speak to you if the stars don't mind.
Would you excuse me, please, Phyllis?
Sure.
Phyllis? Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Patty, are you taking money for this?
Why not? I'm getting paid for a service.
Well, I'll tell you why not. In the first place, there happens to be a law against fortune-telling.
I'm not telling fortunes. I'm reading charts.
The term fortune-telling includes reading charts, reading palms, phrenology.
What's that?
Phrenology is the art of telling fortunes by feeling the bumps on people's heads.
That's ridiculous. Look, Papa, I studied all these books and charts. I know what influences people's lives.
But, Patty, there is nothing to this stuff.
You're always telling me you want me to think for myself. Are you telling me now that because you don't believe in astrology, I can't believe in it?
Well, I didn't say exactly that. I mean, I want you to find out things for yourself.
Then I can go on giving readings?
Well, all right. If these kids are silly enough to listen to you, I suppose it serves them right. But you are not to charge them anymore.
Oh, but...
And that's final.
You've just converted me from a profitable, thriving business to a non-profit charitable organization.
Couldn't have phrased that better myself. Say hello to the stars for me.
Don't catch cold. Done it again. First I predicted Papa's accident. Then Susan's new boyfriend, Richard's aunt. I'm incredible. And it has nothing to do with the stars. Well, I must have something. These kids aren't paying me their hard-earned money for nothing. Not anymore, they're not. Your father put a stop to it. No, he didn't. All he said was I couldn't charge any money. I'm not going to. From now on, my readings are free. But if anybody wants to make a contribution, I'm not going to fight it. I need your help. No. All I need is $3 more to get Mom's birthday present. If you help me get it, I'll give up astrology. Is that a promise? I wouldn't lie to you. Saturn's in conjunction with Mars. You look great, Kath. I feel ridiculous. Why does it have to be two of you? Because the money will come in twice as fast. I have it all worked out. With two of us operating, we'll be able to close up shop by tonight.
Step this way, please.
Enter and be seated.
Next, could you step this way, please?
Oh, hi, Patty. I thought you were in the other room. Hi, Sue. Sit down.
Boy, have I got a problem. You told me not to see Alan anymore.
I did. I did.
And Alan asked me to the dance Saturday night. Well, I turned him down because you told me to go with Stanley.
Stanley.
That dreamy new boy I met. Pisces.
Oh, the fish. What's your problem?
Stanley hasn't asked me to the Saturday night dance yet. Hey, I'm not going to get stuck without a date, am I? At least I could always count on Alan.
Alan is a very nice boy. Why don't you go to the dance with him Saturday?
Oh, you told me the stars were against it. He's a Leo.
Oh? Maybe I better check it again. Here. According to your chart, the letter A is very lucky for you this week. And Alan is a very nice boy.
Oh, then it's all right if I accept the date with him?
I would if I were in your shoes. In your stars.
Oh, hey, thanks, Patty. I've been going with Alan for 6 months, and, well, I like him very much. I'm glad we're not ill-fated or anything. Well, now, I know you don't charge anything, but here's my voluntary contribution given of my own free will. Bye-bye.
Come back anytime. And remember, you'll start to lose the sun-moon opposition next week, and then you can swing out.
Oh, you're in here.
Oh, hi, Suzo. Sit down. Listen, I forgot to ask you. What do I tell Stanley? What do you tell Stanley about what?
Oh, I mean, do I just tell him I'm going to the dance with Alan?
You can't go to the dance with Alan. He's a Leo.
But you just told me to go to the dance with Alan.
Oh, why would I tell you a thing like that?
Because his name begins with A.
What does that got to do with it? His name begins with A. That's right. Sometimes that can make a difference. You better let me check it again. Here we go with Leo. Leo. Here. Oh, it's all right. It's all right. A is good for Saturday. Oh, but S is better. You better go with Stanley.
Is that definite?
Absolutely. It's written in the stars.
But Stanley hasn't asked me yet.
Don't worry, he will. Pisces moves very slowly, but wow. Enjoy the dance Saturday.
Thanks, Patty.
The suckers have all gone. There's someone downstairs to see you, old great one.
I think I'll take an astral break. Boy, I'm tired. But it's sure a good feeling to know you've helped people solve their problems. Hi there.
Hello. I'm looking for Miss Patty Lane.
Boy, the word sure spreads. Build a better mousetrap and everyone comes running.
My name is Roberts, detective, 2nd grade.
Detective 2nd grade, huh?
I'm checking on a report that a fortune teller's operating in this neighborhood. I was told you might be able to help me.
As far as I know, there's no real fortune teller in the neighborhood. Can we quit now? I'm exhausted. Why don't you run back upstairs and lie down? Because you and I are going to have a talk, cousin.
That's a very interesting outfit you have on there.
You mean these fortune-telling clothes?
Oh, is that what they call it?
It's a costume for our school play. School play?
What's the name of this school play?
We're doing Fortune Teller by Victor Herbert.
Is that so? Oh, that's a favorite of mine. There's a gypsy love song in it. Now, how does it go?
She knows. She's playing the lead. I'm playing the... Yes, now, don't be modest. Why don't you sing the song for Detective Robert, 2nd grade, who's here because someone says there's an illegal fortune teller in the neighborhood? Slumber long, my little gypsy sweetheart, dream of the fields and the grove. Can you hear me here in that dreamland where your fancies rove?
that's very nice, very nice. Well, I guess I made a mistake.
That's all right. Come back anytime.
What?
Hey, you know that prediction you made?
What address did you want?
Patty, I want...
Oh, you wanted Patty. That's Patty. If you'll excuse me, I have an awful lot of homework to do.
I'd have sworn that was Patty.
Patty, I think you and I'd better have a little chat. Mind if I take a look at your room?
It's an awful mess.
I know. You've been rehearsing all afternoon.
All right. We didn't really mean to do anything wrong. We just...
Well, it's a nice room.
Thank you.
Now, you look like nice girls. I don't want you to get into any trouble.
No, sir. If there was ever any fortune-telling going on around here, I can promise you it'll never happen again.
I believe you.
Thanks. Isn't there a police fund for widows and orphans?
Yes?
We'd like to make a contribution. Hey! Did you want to say something? Hey! What a good idea.
Well, thank you, but why don't you take it down to the station? I'll be glad to accept it.
Fine. We'll bring it down this afternoon.
Good, good. Oh, would you like some advice?
Yes, sir.
Get rid of all that junk under the bed, huh?
I hope you didn't mind about the money. I thought it was the least we could do. I guess so. Boy, that was a close call. Never again. Kathy, listen to my horoscope. Today is a good day for you to start looking for a different career.
Tomorrow is your mother's birthday, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Kathy told me why you were holding those astrology readings.
Boy, she has a big mouth.
So, I was just thinking if you'd like an advance on your allowance, why, the stores are still open.
Do you mean that?
Yeah.
Thanks, Papa.
Couldn't help myself. It was written in the stars.
Hi, Ross.
Don't speak to me.
Well, I do.
You and your Stars got me off the Little League team. You told me the Stars wanted me to be a pitcher. Well, Scotty Sheldon got it.
Boy, this time you really fixed me.
Me? What'd I do?
I went out and bought a $200 hi-fi set.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. I was going to pay for it with the money I got from my rich aunt.
Didn't she give it to you yet?
She came down from Canada to borrow money from us. The store won't take the set back, and I've got to work after school all winter to pay it off.
That's terrible, Richard. Susan?
Oh, there you are. Well, I just came to tell you never to talk to me again.
What's the matter?
Well, why don't you ask the Stars?
Not in touch anymore.
What happened? Well, you told me to turn Alan down. Well, I did. Well, then I found out Stanley's going with another girl. And now I don't have a date for the Saturday night dance.
Yes, you do. Why don't you go with me?
She can't go with you.
Why not?
Because Aquarius and Gemini don't mix.
Oh, they don't, huh? Well, just watch.
Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins.
I'd like to do. You'd like to erupt? Break out. Seems like it's been miserable out forever. Why don't you read a book? I've read a book. Read one, you've read them all. What are you making? A shift. I could have been a great dress designer, but I flunked sewing. Could never thread a needle. Why they use nervous needles? What's that for? I'm going to trace the design of the cat and see how it will look on the front. And tell you how it'll look. Ghastly. Why don't we go see a movie? Because I want to finish this. What are you going to call it? Catnip? Patty, why don't you go call Richard? I know when I'm not wanted. See you later, cuz. If you told me you needed money for a new dress, I'd have loaned you some. Don't you like this dress? It's catastrophic. Look, this is what the in-group is wearing. Doesn't it make you feel naked wearing something no one else has on? No. Hi, Patty. Hi, Mary. Hi, Kathy. Hello, Miss. Is that a new dress? Yes. It's beautiful. Where'd you buy it? I made it. Oh, you're putting me on. No, she really did. Cuckoo, isn't it? Could you make me one like it? I'm afraid I'm sure she could. For $9.95. It's a deal. But Hi. Say, that's wild. Who sells them? My partner and I. $9.95. And what do you call it? Catnip. Well, could you make me one in red and one in blue? One red, one blue. What's going on? Look what I just ordered, and it's only $9.95. How soon could I have one? I don't... Monday. I'd like it in green. Our Nile model, 7A. My folks are taking me to Switzerland next week. Could you mail it over there? I'll send a memo to our shipping department. Great. You can go to the European market, too. Patty, I only have 10 fingers. I can't make dresses. Shh. Don't bother me with the details. Hey, do you have it in yellow? Any color your little heart desires. That's our motto, 6D. Girls, now, let's organize here. What size did you like? Oh, when's your size?
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bouquets, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
We're rich. I got 43 orders, and that's just the first day. Partner. It's also the last day. Partner. No wonder you're nervous. A sensitive artist like you on the brink of greatness. Stick to me, and you'll become a dynasty. Stick to you, and I'll become a one-woman sweatshop. Do you know what you're doing? It took me 3 days to make this dress. That means it would take me 129 days to fill those orders that you promised for Monday. Will you calm down and let me explain? Explain what? You don't have any material, you don't have any sewing machines, and you don't have me. You're a creative genius, I'm a business genius. Together, we're gonna build an empire. Based on one little dress? Do you have any idea how many people built careers on just one little thing? Fulton invented one little steamboat. Whitney invented one little cotton gin. The Wright brothers... Patty, you don't know anything about the dress business. I can learn. Papa always says, when you need to know something, go to an expert. There are lots of good designers in this country. Hey, there's a beautiful dress. It's lovely. Gregory Madison.
Who's he?
One of the most famous designers in the world.
That's our man.
What are you talking about? You'll see. Operator, I'd like to send a telegram.
Tom.
This just came from the Worldwide Dress Company, Mr. Madison.
Worldwide? Never heard of them. Must be a new firm.
Well, their president and vice president will be in town this afternoon at 4 o'clock. They'd like a meeting with you to discuss a matter of mutual financial interest.
Sounds impressive, huh? You better see the bar stock and get plenty of good cigars.
Yes, Mr. Madison.
Oh, are they here?
Yes, sir, but...
Well, don't keep them waiting. Show them in.
Yes, sir.
Talk to you later.
I'm Patty Lane, president of the Worldwide Dress Company. This is my vice president, Kathy Lane.
You're the... and you're the... I'm Greg Madison. That'll be all, Miss Hamlin.
You got our telegram?
The telegram, yeah. Oh, please, sit down. Oh, well, would you care for a drink? Glass of milk?
No, thank you.
Well, what can I do for you?
It's what we can do for you, Mr. Madison. We're here to give you a hand.
Well, it's very kind of you.
You see, we've just gone into business, and we're going to give you a chance to get in on the ground floor.
A ground floor of what?
Our dynasty, if everything goes all right.
Well, let's hope that it will.
We're willing to give you a percentage of our business.
Well, that's very generous of you. But tell me, what have I done to deserve this?
It's what you're going to do, Mr. Madison. You see, my vice president here designed a dress and wore it to school, and now it's selling like there's no tomorrow.
Well, then what's your problem?
Well, we don't have any material to make the dresses to fill our orders, and we don't know where to get it.
Oh, I see.
We were hoping you could send us to your wholesalers.
May I see your designs?
Certainly. It's all right for you to look at it. We've already applied for a patent.
Oh, well, that was wise of you.
This is it.
Well, now, that really is charming. Really charming. You're a very talented young lady.
Aren't we? Do you really like it?
Yes, yes. It does need something. Do you mind?
Not at all.
Now then, let me see what I can do. Let me show you the famous Madison touch. Little Madison magic here. Whisk broom. Shears. It's amazing what you can do with little things that really have no... There. Take whisk and a little tape and attach thusly. That ought to do it. Now, this will give you a rough idea of what I mean.
That's much better. I love it. We should give you a royalty on... Very nice, Mr. Madison. Exactly what we had in mind.
Now then, let's see what we will need.
Then you're really going to help us?
I'd love to. But look, don't worry about the percentage. Let me do it for the excitement of helping to found a new dynasty.
That's even better.
One thing, were you planning on using this material?
Yes, I was.
Uh-huh. Well, may I suggest something a little bit heavier? Let's say a denim.
Why didn't I think of that? You would have.
Well, for that, I'll send you to the RC Manufacturing Company. And let's see. We'll need a few of these rhinestones. For that, the Glitter Novelty Company.
Hi, dear.
Hello, darling. Ross?
Hi, Dad.
You look tired. How was your day? A brute?
Did you see any juicy killings or gang holdups?
I'm the managing editor of a newspaper, not one of the untouchables. There was a sign out there in the hall, WWDC.
Patty put it up. It means...
Don't tell me. Let me guess. Women's white dresses cleaned. Why worry desperate centipedes?
Worldwide Dress Company. There's an executive meeting going on in your study. Behind those closed doors are the president, vice president, and board of directors.
In my study?
Patty's the president. She's going into business.
She's gonna be a typhoon.
No, dear. A typhoon is a big wind.
That's close enough.
I think it'll be very good for her, darling. It'll give her a sense of responsibility.
Now, you and Craig make the deals and handle the business end of it. We'll sell the dresses for $10. Labor and material come to $6. That means we make $4 on every dress.
For every 100 dresses we sell, we make $400.
And for every 1,000 dresses we sell, we'll make $4,000. And every 10,000 dresses we sell, we'll make $40,000. We're rich!
Now, all the department stores have teenage shops. They'll be glad to do business with us.
Patty, it takes money to go into business.
No, it doesn't. My new silent partner gave me a letter to his wholesalers. We can get everything we need on credit. What's the first step? You mean, what's the first step? What kind of a question is that? It's obvious. Wait. What's our first step?
Well, you can't start manufacturing until you know how many orders you have to fill. The first thing to do is get your orders, buy the material, hire labor, and make the amount of dresses you sold.
See? I told you it was obvious. I know who our first customer is going to be. Stan Brook Department Store. Kathy, how long will it take you to make 10 more of those dresses? Me? You said we were going to set up a factory. Well, that comes later. I need 10 of those dresses right away. How's it going? All right. Gee, I wish I had your talent. See you later. Well, they're racing right along, aren't they? Yes, aren't they? I'll stick with it. Zip, zip, zip. Good old American know-how. I'd give anything if I could do that. Huh, see you after the movie.
Your catnip dress. It's very original.
Our sales department is swamped with orders, but we'd like to help you out as much as we can.
I don't know if we could commit ourselves to an order from a firm that's had no manufacturing experience.
Call Gregory Madison.
Gregory Madison?
He's sort of our silent partner. We already have 70 orders from our school alone. And they're very inexpensive. We can supply them to you for only $9.95.
All right. Call off your clack. I'm convinced. If you can guarantee delivery, I'll give you an order for one.
One? Frankly, Miss Mason, with a product as outstanding as ours, we had hoped for a little larger order.
We don't like to plunge on any item till we've had a chance to test it. How soon could we expect delivery?
Would 6 o'clock be all right?
Well, we're not in that much of a hurry. Let's make the delivery date Friday, and I'll increase the order to 2 on a consignment basis.
But that would be fine, Miss Mason. Thank you.
All right. That's Friday, the 17th, on consignment. 2 gross. There you are.
Thanks a lot. Did she say 2 gross? That's what she said. Do you know how many dresses that is? How many dresses is it? 288 dresses. And you promised them by Friday. That's only 3 days away. We've got to cancel that order. Oh, we can't do that. We'll be out of business before we begin. What are we going to do? Use good old American know-how. RC Manufacturing Company? This is Patty Lane, president of the Worldwide Dress Company. Yes. I want to order 700 yards of blue Photography Company. I'd like to order 1,000 rhinestone...
I want to rent 10 sewing machines. You'll have to deliver them this
I needed about 6 colors. Right.
There you are. Right, Craig. Where are you from?
I live here.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Lane. I wasn't expecting you.
I like to drop in from time to time.
Right. Hello, Mr. Lane.
Craig?
How's it going upstairs, Craig? There you are. Pretty busy afternoon.
I can see that. Your trucks have got the whole block tied up.
That's big business.
There. Try it now. Thanks, Chief.
Oh, Chief. Could I see you for a minute? Kathy. And, Madam President, if you don't mind.
But, Martin, I haven't had this much fun in years.
There is something wrong with all this instant success.
Why? Richard figured out that by the end of the year, we could make $500,000.
Oh, Richard figured that out, huh?
You know how thoughts sweep the country, Uncle Martin. Why, they're like tidal waves.
Well, it's a funny thing about tidal waves. They go out, too.
Gregory said that if you're going to do something, do it big.
Oh, Gregory said that.
Look at this order.
Well, this says on consignment.
What's that?
Patty, are you sure you're ready to be president of a company?
Oh, don't be a big business pooper.
On consignment, young lady, means that if they don't sell the dresses, they can return them to you.
Why shouldn't they sell them? All the girls from school buy there. Sure. We just ordered material for another 200 dresses.
You're right, it is like a tidal wave. Beginning to wish I had an aqua lung.
I'll get it. If that's the shipment of boxes, send them up to the East Plant.
East Plant?
That's Ross's room. Martin, I think you ought to do a story on this.
Teenage tycoons' terrified dress trade? Natalie, it's not possible to start a business without experience, assets, or capital.
James Watt started with a teapot and some hot water.
I have a feeling that's what we're going to end up in.
This is Mr. Dobson, my aunt and uncle, Mr. and Mrs. Lane, and our president, Patty.
How do you do?
Hello.
How do you do?
I had planned on being here earlier, but there's a terrible traffic jam out there.
That's big business.
Business must be good.
We're having a hard time filling our orders.
Well, that's what we like to hear.
We?
Yes, I'm with the government. Small Business Bureau Division. Now, you're president of the Worldwide Dress Company?
Yes?
You operate from these premises?
Yes?
They just got started.
Do you have employees on the premises?
Yes, there are 12 of them.
Well, that's a good round number. You two rent the business for yourselves, huh?
That's right, they're all on their own.
Well, not entirely on their own. We wouldn't want them to feel neglected. They have a partner.
A partner?
Uncle Sam. Here's some W-4 forms for withholding taxes, unemployment and disability forms for your employees. You'll have 48 hours in which to get a manufacturer's license. You'll need a safety inspector's seal for the premises and a waiver to rezone this house for manufacturing. There hasn't been a residential manufacturer waiver in the last 50 years.
Can they do this to us?
What are you going to do? Fight free enterprise?
I'm going out to mail the dress to Europe now. How much is postage to Switzerland?
And an export license.
For one dress?
Some of our other departments will be calling on you this afternoon. I have a feeling that you're going to be keeping us pretty busy. Well, good luck with your business.
office pooper.
It was wonderful of your father to straighten out all that red tape for us. Sure was. It only took 2 lawyers, an accountant, and a business manager. The whole industry founded on our brains. Gives you a feeling of power, doesn't it? It gives me a feeling of panic. Richard said you ordered enough material for 300 more dresses. That's right. We have to be ready for the deluge. Reorders should be coming in any minute. Come on. Hey, that's darling. I want one with a picture of Johnny on it. Where can I buy it? From me. I'm making them myself. I want one, too. How much are they? $8.95.
Can I have 2?
Sure.
I'd like one with Pete and one with Joe.
I want one in blue and one in yellow.
Great.
Girls. Now, listen, girls, you don't want to buy those dresses. They're practical.
Start really at that.
What if you change boyfriends?
Well, you gotta hand it to these kids. Give the public what it wants. Hello, Richard. Keeping pretty busy, huh?
Yes, sir.
Hey, where's the president and the board of directors?
They're in the living room.
Huh? Counting their money, I presume. Why, I was sure wrong about this group. Well, this is a grim-looking gathering. That just proves that money doesn't bring happiness.
Welcome to Bankrupt Manor. I'm possibly the youngest failure in America.
Bankrupt Manor? What are you talking about?
We got drowned in the tidal wave.
But I saw a lot of trucks out there. They were making deliveries.
They were returning dresses. We've been deconsigned.
What happened?
Someone came up with a newer idea.
Yeah, you know how fickle teenagers are.
What about all that material you had stockpiled?
We went to Mr. Madison about that. He was wonderful. He took it all off our hands. He couldn't do anything about the finished dresses. They're a little out of his line. Boy, I really washed out. I'm sorry. It's as much my fault as it is yours.
Well, here are the figures. After we deduct material, labor, and insurance, and balance that against total expenditures, minus capital assets, we have $1.25 left.
Oh, that's not too bad. At least you ended up on the profit side of the ledger.
And on the debit side of the ledger, we're stuck with 25 dresses at a cost of $6 apiece. That's $150 we owe.
And I was going to build an empire. I should be declared a disaster area.
Honey, you tried. You had an idea and you followed it through. I'm proud of you.
But it didn't work.
Patty, a lot of dreams in life don't work out the way we hope they will. But that doesn't mean we have to stop dreaming.
Then you're not angry with me?
No. Well, you almost accomplished a very rare feat. For a while there, I actually thought you were going to start a business with no assets, no capital, and no experience. That could have set a very dangerous precedent.
I love you, Papa.
Listen now, may I make a suggestion?
We'll take it.
No, I haven't made it yet. I was just thinking, suppose we donate all these dresses to some worthy relief organization. Now, I'd be willing to bear half of the cost if the rest of you will bear the other half. And you can pay me back at the rate of, say, $2 a week.
Do you mean that? That's wonderful, Uncle Martin.
Good. Then it's all settled.
May I make a suggestion?
Go ahead.
Let's go spend the assets on some ice cream sodas.
All in favor?
Aye. Why don't we go to a movie? I can't this afternoon, Patty. I'm busy. What are you making? A hat? Hey, I like that. Do you? I sure do. Do you know something? Yes. We are going to a movie.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are...
You do. I saw your report card. You almost failed geometry, young lady. I think it's about time you learned a triangle is not necessarily a situation involving two men and a girl.
Geometry's a big fat drag. Even Kathy's not good at it. She's a brain's brain. Right, Kath? Kathy, what are you reading? The Françoise Dupart book. You mean that 16-year-old French girl? She may only be 16, but she's really lived. No wonder it's #1 on the bestseller list.
Good book?
Marvelous, Uncle Martin. Picture's on the front of one of the magazines around here. Here it is. Imagine that. Only 16 years old and she's the toast of Paris. It says here, she's a symbol of teenage freedom over there. All the kids are copying her hairstyles. They even named a street after her. No wonder. She just sold her book to the movies for $200,000.
It's wonderful.
I hope they hurry and make the movie. What's the book about? About life, with a capital L, seen through the eyes of a teenage girl. Let me see that. My first dance was an unforgettable experience. Pierre was tall and shy and awkward. He had just learned to drive. It took all my powers of persuasion to get Father to allow Pierre to drive me to the dance. We got into the car and drove off. We had gone only a block when Pierre ran into a car that was turning the corner. In the other car was Father.
Hey, that happened to you when Richard first got his car.
Yeah, I know. I still have the bruises.
This stuff is a bestseller? I can write stuff like this.
You can write stuff like what?
Like this Françoise Dupart. And there's no competition. There are no teenagers writing novels today.
Oh, well, that may be true.
That's why Françoise Dupart's book became a bestseller. Because she's a teenager. Patty, the critics don't care how old you are. It's what you have to say. I have a lot to say. What would you write about? Me. Life with a capital L. I've even got the title. I was a teenager.
Writing requires a great deal of discipline. I mean, it would mean giving up dates, movies.
I need a place to work where I can be completely undisturbed. I know. I'll work in the garret.
The garret?
I think she means the attic. Same thing.
I don't think you can work up there, dear. It's dirty and dusty and a mess.
Gee, that sounds like your room.
Sounds perfect. After all, create, you must suffer. Françoise, move over.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Are you sure you want to work up here, Patty? It's going to be awfully uncomfortable.
William Shakespeare never complained.
Alfred and I are going to the movies tonight. Wouldn't you like to join us? Sorry, Kath. When the creative juices flow, you gotta let them go. You're sure you'll be all right up here? Louisa May Alcott never complained. Everything I want is right here. If there's anything I can do to help Patty, nothing, thank you. Creation is the bird of loneliness. Good luck. It has nothing to do with luck. It's pure talent. I was a teenager. By Patty Lane. A teenager. Early one morning, Early one afternoon, early one night.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Mom.
How was school?
Fine. Did a package come for me?
Yes.
It's me. Jenny, I thought of you while I was driving here. Did you, Bernardo? What made you think of me? On the road was a sign that said, soft shoulders. Oh, Bernardo, you have the drollest sense of humor. Hello, Richard.
Where's Patty?
Up in the attic working on her book.
Do you know I've been waiting an hour for her at the bowling alley? That's the third date she's broken in a row.
She probably forgot about it.
That's a fine excuse. Well, she's gonna have to choose. It's either her career or me. Did you say she was up in the attic?
I don't think she wants to be disturbed.
Well, she's gonna be.
Another reason the road reminded me of you, Jenny. You have dangerous curves. Jenny gives a peal of laughter.
What are you laughing at?
Bernardo just said something funny.
Well, where is he?
He's in my book. He has the most marvelous sense of humor.
When are you gonna finish that, Patty? I've been out bowling by myself, and you've been up here laughing by yourself. Well, it doesn't make sense.
It will make sense when my book is finished. I'm going to do for the American teenager what Francoise did for the French teenager.
Well, what did she do for them?
She liberated them. She made the world look at them in a new light.
Well, how long's this liberation gonna take?
Well, about it. You don't write a bestseller overnight. It might take me another week.
Here's your dinner, Patty. What's the matter? Didn't Louisa May Alcott eat? What happened?
I just murdered Reginald.
Hey, Patty, it's 12 o'clock.
I just have to finish this chapter.
Did you write all that?
That's the prologue.
What are you gonna call it? Gone with the Wind?
I thought
better let the publisher choose the title.
Honey, you know, it isn't all that easy to get something published. I guess if it were, everybody'd write a book. What I'm trying to say is that I really wouldn't count too much on this if I were you.
Papa, will you be home this Saturday?
Well, I think so. Why?
I'm going to be through with the book by then. Would you read it?
Sure, I'd love to.
Thanks.
Well, all right, you finish up and get to bed, huh? Good night, dear.
Good night, Papa. Did you hear that?
Did I hear what?
Stampede. Stampede. It started, Bernardo. Well?
Patty, you know that I love you very much, don't you?
You hated it.
No, I didn't hate it. There's some good things in it. You want my honest criticism?
Of course.
Well, honey, the first rule of good writing is to choose a subject you know something about.
You mean it didn't seem authentic to you? Why?
For one thing, you've never been a teenage nurse among the Pui Indians in the wilds of the Mato Grosso.
Edgar Rice Burroughs wasn't brought up by a gorilla in Africa. You create with your imagination. Besides, I researched it.
Yeah, well, that's not the same.
Didn't you like the war scenes?
Yes, I did. They were real and vivid and authentic.
Do you mean that?
I certainly do. I felt the same way about them the first time I read them 20 years ago. They made Hemingway famous.
Oh, it may have a Hemingway flavor, but
Yeah, I know. You were just researching.
Well, what about the character of Jenny? She didn't come from Hemingway.
No, I felt she was more like Joan of Arc, only braver.
You hated everything.
No, I didn't. Now, there were some really fine things in there. The things that were all your own, you know? In fact, for instance, the comedy scene was just wonderful.
The comedy scene?
During the big battle. Remember when the enemies were locked in, what was your phrase? In the throes of mortal and deadly anguish with their eyes caught in fierce combat. And then Jenny comes by with her first aid kit, and they take one look at her and stop fighting and start trying to date her.
That wasn't a comedy scene.
I see.
Oh, but to show it to you.
Oh, now, Patty, please,
I'm sorry for taking up your valuable time.
What happened?
Oh, it was a disaster.
Was the book that bad?
It was a combination of Hemingway, Salinger, and Superman, only ungrammatical.
Well, it's easy for everybody to sit back and criticize. But I'll tell you this. There's going to be a lot of crow eating around here when my book gets published. Publishers. Repeat. Publishers. Publishers. Here we are. You're not going to send it to a publisher. What did you think I was going to do with it? Well, a lot of authors just put their first book away. They consider it a kind of training. They don't put bestsellers away. This has everything. Love, war, poverty, death, cooking recipes. I mean, you never read a book before where they actually gave you a cooking recipe right in the middle of a chapter, did you? No? Do you know what the bestsellers are? Cookbooks. And I've thrown it in for nothing. 6 of Mama's best recipes. Just wait. I'll show all of you.
Patty, how was everything at school today?
Fine, thank you.
Are you feeling all right?
Fine, thank you.
Look, Patty, I know how sensitive the artistic temperament is, but you've had this Iron Curtain up for a week now. I told you I'm sorry if I've hurt your feelings. But if you're going to be an author, then you have to get used to criticism. Besides, I wasn't criticizing you. I was criticizing your book.
Of course. I understand. I'll get it. Thank you. I know.
Who was it, Kathy?
Telegram for Patty Lane.
For me?
Is anything wrong?
No, nothing's wrong.
It's just a telegram from my publisher. My book's going to be published immediately. They expect it to be a bestseller. If you'll forgive me now, I think I'll retire to my garret.
How did you get the idea for your book?
Well, everyone is always attacking the teenager. When adults think of us, they think of rock and roll, telephones, hamburgers. I wanted to give them a more realistic image. Show them the real us.
Yeah, a brave teenage girl runs away from her home in Detroit to become a nurse among the Poi Indians in the wilds of the Mato Grosso.
Oh, hello, Mr. Lane.
Hello, boys. Hello, Patty.
Hi, Papa.
Alfred's interviewing Patty for the Brooklyn Heights Clarion. The paper's running a front-page story on her.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
You know, teenage girl becomes famous author overnight.
I'll bet it must make you feel kind of funny. Me scooping your daughter like this. I mean, you being a newspaper editor, too.
Well, yeah, it does feel a little funny, yeah.
I suppose you're planning a Sunday feature story on her, huh?
Well, we hadn't decided on the day yet.
Our readers would like to know your opinions about your fellow authors. Whom do you admire most?
Ernest Hemingway.
What do you think of T.S. Eliot?
T.S. is long-winded, but very talented.
And Francoise Dupart?
An illiterate French child.
Well, if you'll excuse me.
Will you be going to Hollywood to write the picture?
Probably.
Hello, dear.
Hey, what's cooking? It smells good.
That's me.
Oh.
Is the press conference still going on?
Oh, yeah. I can't understand it.
The book is being published.
Yeah, I know it is, but I don't know why.
Couldn't you have been wrong about it?
It's not very good.
Well, the publisher saw values in it that you didn't see.
You read it. What's your opinion?
It's not very good.
And yet somebody is willing to shell out an advance of $1,000 or $2,000 plus the money it's going to take to publish it. According to the telegram, the contracts are on the way. So I guess we must be wrong. What are we having for dinner tonight?
Crow.
Good evening. My name is Blair of the Buyer Publishing Company. I wanted to meet Miss Patricia Lane.
Oh, well, how do you do, Mr. Blair? I'm Patricia's father.
Well, it's an honor, sir, an honor and a privilege. I always say more attention should be paid to the parents of talented writers. Behind every talented writer is a mother, a father, shaping them, molding them. Genius, I always say, is no accident.
No. Well, I'm sorry, but Patricia is out right now.
Oh, well, my fault, sir. I should have telephoned first, but I just happened to be in the neighborhood, and I did want to meet Patricia and to drop the contracts off.
Well, you brought the contracts with you?
Oh, yes. All she has to do is sign them.
Come in, won't you?
Yeah.
This is my niece, Kathy. This is Mr. Blair, Patricia's publisher.
How do you do? Patty will be so sorry she missed you.
Oh, that's all right. She'll be seeing a lot of me. That's a mighty talented young woman. We don't get many manuscripts like hers.
I should think not.
Well, I don't want to detain you, Mr. Lane. I would like to discuss the advance.
Well, we can talk about that if you like. What did you have in mind?
Well, our usual advance is $1,500.
$1,500?
Well, yes, if that is satisfactory to her.
Well, I'm sure that it would be. That's more than satisfactory.
Mr. Blair, do you really feel Patty's book is going to be a bestseller?
There's no doubt about it. That book has got everything. The romance, war, death, cooking recipes. Well, I've got other authors to see tonight, and I'm sure you have business to take care of, Mr. Lane, so if you'll just give me the check, I'll be on my way.
Check?
The $1,500.
You want a $1,500 advance from me?
No, from your daughter.
Oh, from my daughter. This publishing firm of yours, Mr. Blair, it's one of those vanity presses, I take it.
Well, I wouldn't call it that.
I don't care what you call it. The point is that people pay you money to publish their books so they can see their name in print.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, Mr. Lane.
And you'll publish anything that's submitted to you.
Well, actually, Mr. Lane, my business is not with you, it's with your daughter. And she did sign a contract.
Patty signed a contract?
Oh, yes. All of our authors, when they submit their manuscripts to us, sign a contract specifying that if we accept their book for publication, they will be personally responsible for all the cost of the publication thereof. And the contract is airtight. So if you want to talk to anybody, you can talk to my lawyer. Good night, Mr. Lane. Young lady.
Miss Blair, be sure to tell your lawyer that the girl who signed the contract is 16 years old.
What did you say?
I said that you'd made an airtight contract with a minor.
You mean a 16-year-old girl wrote that book?
Well, Hemingway, Solinger, and Betty Crocker wrote some of it.
I ought to sue you for wasting my time. Good night.
You're forgetting something, Mr. Blair.
What?
You promised my daughter that you'd publish her book.
Forget it.
All right, I won't detain you, Mr. Blair. We're both busy men. You have authors to see, and I have to get down to my newspaper.
Newspaper? You wouldn't be, Martin Lane, would you?
Yes?
Not the managing editor of the New York Chronicle?
Yes?
Mr. Lane, the Vanity Press is a perfectly legitimate branch of the publishing business. We cater to people's dreams, people whose dream it is to see their novel in print.
I'm aware of that.
Yes, well, now I would not want to be unfair about this. Your daughter's book does have a certain naive charm to it. Well, I don't see any reason why we shouldn't publish it. At our expense, of course. I suggest a 10-copy press run. That way, Patricia will be satisfied, and she'll never have to know how big the edition was.
Patty has a lot of friends.
Well, all right, 25 copies. 50 copies. 100 copies.
That's a nice round figure.
Boy, Kathy, were you smart not to go? That movie wasn't released. It escaped.
Patty, I want you to meet your publisher. This is Mr. Blair.
Mr. Blair? Yeah, I can't tell you how excited I am. I've never been published before. How did you like the book?
I sincerely feel that that book is one of the most unusual works we have ever handled.
Francoise Dupont, je suis arrivée. Boy, being a celebrity is sure rough on the fingers. I must have autographed 100 books. You promised you'd autograph one for me. Okay, okay. Could you put on it, to Ross, from his sister who wrote the book? Sure. Thanks. I promised the kids that I'd bring it to class tomorrow.
Your book has certainly created a stir around Brooklyn Heights High.
I'll bet it has.
Created quite a stir around here.
Good afternoon, everybody. Well, I brought the revised contracts.
That's wonderful, Mr. Blair.
You don't mind if I read those first, do you?
Hope so.
Thank you.
Boy, have I got a surprise for you, Mr. Blair. My new book.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins.
I'll stay home and read a book. Let's write a book. Oh, what's so funny about that?
Mom, can't I skip the patrol meeting tonight? I don't feel like going.
I thought Boy Scouts were always supposed to be prepared.
I am. I'm prepared to stay home.
Natalie, children, I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. Hello, everybody. Hi, everybody. Say, I just left JR. I'm afraid you're in for a kind of a shock. Gang, we've been through a lot together. But I think that we've proved that you can, that we can take it. And now, we've got to be really brave.
Is that you, Martin?
Yeah. Yes, Natalie. Hello, darling.
Richard, you... I wish I could get my hands on whoever invented the PTA. I must have addressed 1 million envelopes today for the luncheon.
Oh, Lucifer. Oh, I'll never get it right. I'm not the type anyway. Hello, Uncle Martin.
Hello, Kath.
Dad, were you a Boy Scout when you were a boy?
Yeah, I sure was.
Gee, I didn't know they had them in those days.
Oh, yeah, we used to go out hunting for buffalo.
Well, then get yourself another date. Goodbye, Richard. Hi, Papa.
Hi, Pat. Problem with Richard?
There's always a problem with Richard. You know, life can be a drag. For me, too. I don't know why I got involved in this play.
Well, I'm sorry you're not all in a happier state of mind. I mean, I'm afraid I've got some very bad news for you.
What's wrong?
Well, I just left JR. I tried to talk him out of it, but you know how stubborn he can be. He said there's nobody can do it but me. Well, that's ridiculous.
What's ridiculous?
Oh, the whole thing. I mean, it's going to be hard enough on me, but it's going to be much harder on the rest of you. I told him that, but once he's got his mind made up, he just doesn't listen.
Martin, what are you talking about?
JR has put me in charge of our overseas bureau. It means we're going to have to live over there for a whole year.
Over where?
I didn't want to go, and I told him how hard it would be on the rest of you to drag yourselves away, but I just couldn't get through to him.
Papa, over where?
We're going to live in Paris.
Paris! Yippee! I'll get a pen.
I thought you'd all hate the idea.
Oh, I hate it. It's the most exciting thing that's ever happened to this family.
Oh, what do you know?
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Where Kathy Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll. A hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet. Still they're cousins. Identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
You gonna be able to get us packed and out of here in 2 weeks?
To go to Paris? Watch me.
I'm really amazed. I thought I knew you all so well. I told JR, look, I'm willing to make the sacrifice, but my family will never sit still for it. Natalie's got her clubs and civic affairs. The girls have their boyfriends and school activities, and Ross has his Boy Scouts.
Well, I can be civic in France. I can't wait to go to Dior's.
Now, take it easy. We're going to be over there for quite a while. Hey, there's that book I was looking for last week.
Dad, is there any room for my ham set?
Gee, I'm sorry, son. We're going to have to put it in storage.
But how do I keep in touch with everybody?
Send them postcards.
Mom, my sled, skis, and tennis racket
Go into storage.
Storage? I'll need them over there.
Anything you need, we'll rent. We're sending enough over there now to supply the Fifth Army. We have to put our foot down someplace. Oh, see, listen, where are my golf clubs?
Oh, I put them with the things that are going into storage.
Storage? That's a good idea.
All the suitcases are up, Aunt Natalie.
Oh, good. You and Patty can start packing.
I can't believe I'll be seeing Father again.
Oh, well, that's one of life's little ironies. He's leaving for India, but we'll manage to get him back to Paris for a visit.
Papa, what are the boys like over in Europe?
Like the boys anywhere else. Interested in girls.
That's good enough for me. Me in Paris.
Oh, and it's not just going to be Paris. I mean, all those European countries are only an hour or two apart by plane, so we'll be making trips everywhere.
I can't wait. Come on, Kath. The sooner we finish packing, the sooner we get out of here.
Boy, I can't believe it. I'm gonna be international.
Mrs. Lane? I'm Will Cameron with the Superior Real Estate Company. Mr. Lane said it'd be all right to show the house.
Oh, yes, of course.
This is Mrs. Atkinson, and this is the Atkinson astronaut.
Brooks. How do you do? How do you do? Won't you come in? Brooks. Brooks, put that away.
My, it's charming. Charming. How many bedrooms do you have?
3. The girls share a room. My son has his room, and my husband and I have our room.
You mustn't touch that, Brooks. You're renting this unfurnished, aren't you?
Yes.
That's fine. I have some good pieces I'd like to put in here. This furniture is sweet, but definitely wrong for this room. Don't you think?
I hadn't noticed.
Where is the Hotel Splendid? Où est l'Hôtel Splendide?
Où est l'Hôtel Splendide?
Do you have any money? Avez-vous de l'argent?
Avez-vous d'argent?
I would like a cup of coffee with sugar and cream. Je voudrais une tasse de café avec du sucre et de la crème.
Je voudrais une tasse de café avec du sucre et de la crème.
Boy, you have a terrible accent.
What do you expect? I'm not even there yet. Let's try it out. Pretend we're in a restaurant. I'll be a waitress. I'll be outside looking in the window.
We're all eating together.
I'm not hungry.
Bonjour, madame. Mademoiselle. Monsieur. Voulez-vous avoir une table?
Sure.
Oui. Bon. Ici, s'il vous plaît. Que voulez-vous en manger?
What'd she say?
She says, what do you want to eat?
Poison.
That's pronounced poisson.
I wondered.
Bonsoir, tout le monde. Well, speaking French okay now?
Hello, darling. Oh, this was a wonderful idea.
Well, I thought we might as well be able to greet them in their native tongue when we arrive. How's the packing going?
Well, it's funny. The more I do, the more there is to do. I'm beginning to wonder if we're going to be through on time.
Don't worry, we will be. All we have to do is follow this checklist.
I hope we're not disturbing you. I have some people here to see the house.
No, not at all.
These are the O'Briens, the Lane family.
How do you do?
I know the way. We'll just show ourselves around.
Fine.
Hi, Rich.
I looked for you after school. We all went over to the malt shop, but you'd vanished into thin air.
I'm sorry, Rich. I have a million things to do around here.
I thought maybe something had happened to you. I rushed over here as soon as I finished my malt.
Ouch.
What's the matter?
That's where I had my shot.
Remember the last time you were supposed to get a shot?
And Kathy got it by mistake, and I tried to keep her date with Ted and my date with you.
And we lost the dance contest because the judge thought Kathy was a better dancer.
Yeah. We've had a lot of laughs together.
Yeah.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
What's nothing?
Well, nothing is, I don't want you going out with those Europeans. You know what they're like.
No, I don't. That's why I'm going over there to find out.
Well, that's what I mean.
I'm teasing. I'll only be away a year.
That's almost 5% of our lives up to now. Anyway, once you've been to France, well, I'll look like nothing.
You are wrong, mon cher. We look like something. Patty will never forget.
Hey, cut it out.
Come to Patty. I will take you to the Casbah. Kiss me, you handsome devil.
Stop it. I mean, it's all right to joke about it while you're here, but it won't be so funny once you're over there. My buddy's girlfriend went to Spain and...
Spain! España!
Now for the brave bulls, the handsome caballeros. Querida, has anyone ever told you you have the most beautiful eyes, like black olives?
My eyes are green.
You have the most beautiful eyes, like green olives.
Hey, what's the matter with you? You haven't even left yet, and you're acting like a nut. Come on, let's go eat.
Are you hungry, darling? I will fix for you an Hungarian omelet right away. As soon as I get this diamond bracelets off. They are so heavy I can't lift the frying pan. There, darling. That's better, darling. You will love my omelette. I use make eggs.
Did anybody ever tell you you're a crook? Patty?
Yes, Richard?
You'll come back to me, won't you?
Sure. I'll come back to you.
I don't care what country you're in. Remember, you're my girl.
Richard!
Hello. I'm from the telephone company. There's a phone to be disconnected.
I guess so.
The upstairs phone?
That's my phone.
Not anymore. It's disconnected as of today.
Disconnected? Took me 16 years to get that phone.
Hello, Rose.
Hi, Nicky.
I just wanted to say goodbye.
I was just coming over to say goodbye to you.
Were you really? That's the sweetest thing I've ever heard of. In the middle of all this excitement about going to Paris and everything, you thought of me.
Sure. I don't have much to do.
Please don't fall in love with any of those French girls.
I won't.
They'll fall in love with you. You're a very attractive boy, you know.
I know.
Hi, Rose.
Oh, hi, Billy.
Well,
I'll be running along. You two men probably have important things to discuss.
Yeah. I'll see you, Nicky.
I'll see you, Ross. Have a good time.
Sure. Thanks.
James.
Yeah. James.
When do you leave?
Tomorrow night.
The fellas in the Bear Patrol got together and chipped in to give you this.
Oh, gee, thanks, Billy.
It does everything but send out the Morse code.
Oh, will you thank the guys for me?
Sure. Will won't miss you.
I'll miss the guys. I know I haven't been to all the meetings lately, but I'll make up for it when I get back.
We're starting a junior life-saving course next week.
Oh, boy! I'll be in Paris.
Lucky you. Well, so long, Ross.
So long, Billy.
Everything's out of the basement.
Good. Will you help me with this? I could use about 6 more hands.
Sure. What are you going to do with all this stuff?
Well, I'm sending all the canned goods over to the church, and the perishables we're giving to Aunt Martha. Oh, will you fill this carton?
Mm-hmm. Got any mustard?
I said fill the carton.
Aunt Martha's trying to diet anyway.
Come in.
Hello, Mrs. Lane.
Hello. Hi, Mr. Papadopoulos.
This is for you.
Well, I didn't order anything. We're leaving, you know.
We'll need another carton.
There's one in the living room.
I know you're leaving. That's why this is for you. It's
Bye.
a gift. Bye.
A going away present.
No, I come back soon present. I had a nice speech to go with the fruit, but I'm not much of a speaker, so you'll just have to take the fruit.
I don't know what to say.
Well, probably nobody told you, but the whole neighborhood is pretty unhappy about your going. It's the same that nice people have to leave.
We'll be back.
Oh, sure. But meantime, who's going to take charge of the TPA lunches and the Ladies Auxiliary Club? My daughter goes to Patty's school. I know what you and Mr. Lane do for the school. My wife's in the Ladies Auxiliary Club. She talks a lot about you. You see, we're not just losing a customer. We're losing a friend.
I'm going to cry in a minute.
Don't cry on the fruit. It'll spoil it. Goodbye, Miss Lady.
Goodbye, Mr. Papadopoulos, and thank you.
Hello. Oh. This is the kitchen. Would you pass the salt, please? Now, I've arranged to have the first few days off so that I can show you around Paris. And there's a marvelous sightseeing boat called the Bateau Mouche that goes around the Seine. Could I have the mayonnaise, please? On the first day, I thought we'd have lunch at the Eiffel Tower. There's a wonderful restaurant there, before the top, you know. Well, how's that sound?
Great. That sneak Sue Ellen bought a new dress and invited Richard to a dance at her father's country club.
What's Sue Ellen's dress got to do with having lunch at the Eiffel Tower?
Nothing. I just knew this was going to happen.
I don't think you have to worry about Richard.
Who's worried about Richard? I'm worried about Sue Ellen.
Good evening, folks. Enjoy your dinner. We won't bother you. Now, this is the dining room, and out here we have the terrace. I wonder if he'd like some mustard.
You were in a hurry to rent the house.
Say, there's nothing wrong, is there?
Of course not. What could be wrong?
I don't know.
Anybody seen the knife Billy gave me? Yes, that makes 8 times.
Martin, I wish you could have seen Mr. Papadopoulos. He's such a nice man. Bet you don't find him like that in Europe.
Natalie, he came from Europe.
I don't care if he did.
That's for me. Excuse me. Hello, Ted.
Hi, Kathy. Am I early?
No, we were just finishing dinner. Sit down.
Tomorrow's the big day, huh?
Yes. This will be our last night in the house.
Kathy, do you have to go?
What?
I mean, well, this is such a bad time and everything, with the play coming on.
Oh, well, you can get someone else for my part.
Well, I don't want to. The only reason I agreed to direct this play was because you were going to be in it.
The only reason I agreed to be in it was because you were going to direct it.
Well, what if you didn't go? Well, couldn't you stay with relatives?
I am staying with relatives.
Oh, I forgot.
See, you know, there's a plane that flies from France to England, and it carries your car and everything. You just land at a little English airport and drive right off to London.
Sue Ellen's dresses are strapless.
Try some more fruit. It's delicious.
Anybody seen the knife Billy gave me?
That makes 9 times.
Well, Kathy, I was thinking that on our first free weekend, we could all drive up to Stratford. Maybe we could even go punting on the Thames. You know, in England, they don't punt with a football, they punt with boats.
Well, she could have at least waited till I was out of the country. My body's not even cold yet.
See, isn't anybody even interested in what we're going to be doing over there?
Of course, darling. Try a pear. Mr. Papadopoulos says it's...
I don't want to hear any more about Mr. Papadopoulos or Richard or that dress or the knife or any...
Congratulations, folks. You just rented your house to the McGurskys.
Are you all ready, dear?
Yeah.
Father should be here any minute. He wants to allow plenty of time to get to the airport. Where are Kathy and Ross?
They're coming. You know something, Mom? I don't like the idea of a bunch of strangers living here. I don't like the idea. I'm ready, Aunt Natalie. Has Ted called? The phone's disconnected. I forgot. Ted said I was the only one who could really play that part.
They'd better find someone else because in less than 2 hours, we're going to be on our way to Paris. You ready?
No. You won't hate me if I tell you something, will you?
Of course not.
You may think I'm chicken, but I don't want to go. Brother, you have a lot of company. I'll miss the life-saving course if I go.
There's no if about it. Now listen, all of you. This trip may have sounded more exciting in the beginning than it does now. I think if we told your father we didn't want to go, he'd have made other arrangements, but it's too late for that now. So, let's pull ourselves together.
Yippee! We're going to Paris.
That's better. Well, let's check and make sure all the windows are locked.
Natalie, children, I've got some bad news for you. Hello. Hello, everybody. Say, guess what happened? I just left JR, and, well, I'm afraid you're in for a kind of a shock. Oh, boy.
Is that you, Martin? We're all ready, aren't we, children?
Yeah. Can't wait to get on the plane. Neither can I. Let's hurry.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to tell you this.
Is anything wrong?
I'm afraid there is. I just left JR, and well, I tried to argue with him, but you know how he is once he gets his mind made up. Oh, boy, I hate to do this to you.
Do what, Martin?
Well, JR is absolutely panicky about the idea of my going away.
Papa, what are you trying to say?
All I can do is ask you to forgive me. We're not going to Paris.
Sure, Rich. I love Amy's party. Why don't you pick me up at about 8 o'clock? Oh, Lucifer, the sweetness of dawn is in your lips. The waning moon is in your eyes. I was born for this part.
Were you, darling?
Hey, I gotta go.
Where are you rushing off to?
The scout meeting. I don't want to be late. I'm the new patrol leader.
Hello, family.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, Uncle Martin.
More envelopes?
For next week's luncheon. Isn't it lovely? It's hard to explain, but suddenly all of us appreciate everything more.
Well, I gotta go now, Richard. Papa's home. Right. Bye. Papa, you're the greatest.
Isn't it marvelous? Suddenly I'm a hero. And you know what I did? I didn't take my family to Europe.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins.
Miss Lane, hit it better. I'm tired of Mrs. Davis winning every year. It's giving me an inferiority complex.
She'll never be able to beat this cake.
I hope you're right. Oh, dear, I'm late for the hairdresser. You can leave as soon as you've finished, Mrs. Williams.
I just have the girls' room to do. Looks like they played the Army-Navy game up there.
See you Friday.
Boy, that new math teacher is a real wuzza-wuzza. What's a wuzza-wuzza? Our new math teacher. Hey, Cuckoo! Beauty. It's the best cake Mom ever baked. Perhaps she wants to save it for dinner. There's plenty. Here, live a little. It's wonderful. I told you. Let's cut. You want to go down for soda? No, thank you, Patty. I have some letters to write. Hi, Mama.
I didn't know you were home. Do me a favor, will you?
Sure.
I have an appointment at the hairdresser, and I'm late. There's a banana sponge cake in the kitchen. Take it over to the church bazaar for me, will you? It has to be entered for 6 o'clock. I'll see you there later. Bye.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bouquets, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike, they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
No. What do you think you're doing?
In my state of shock, do I know? It'll kill Mom if her cake doesn't win the prize. How could I forget that tonight was the annual church bazaar?
You saw food and everything else went out of your head?
Mrs. Davis has won the cake baking contest every year for the past 5 years. Mom swore she was going to beat her this year.
Oh. I wonder if you can enter half a cake.
You're home. You better take that cake. Right. What happened?
Mice?
How could you do this to your own mother?
I thought it was just a cake.
I didn't know it was the cake.
She's been waiting all year for that contest. That's her favorite recipe.
Would you happen to know the recipe?
Oh, I watched her make it, but...
Mrs. Williams, how would you like to bake a cake?
Oh, no. That wouldn't be honest.
Oh, why not? It'd be baked in the Lane oven.
I couldn't do it.
Please, Mrs. Williams, you know how much this means to my mother.
I shouldn't do it.
But you will? Oh.
You get upstairs and clean your room. There. That should win first prize. I'm leaving now. Good luck.
Cool.
Piece of cake?
But don't touch that.
Why not? It's great.
We're slashed.
What are you complaining about? We're loaded with cake.
Do you know what you just did, you coolie? You ruined your mother.
What are you talking about?
You just ate Mom's entry in the church bazaar. Patty. All right, one of her entries.
Gee, I'm sorry. How was I supposed to know?
Oh, it takes a pretty stupid person not to know an ordinary cake from a prize cake. Now what do we do? Perhaps we could get Mrs. Williams to come back to scratch it. She works a one-day week. What time is it? 4 o'clock. Okay, we have 2 hours.
For what?
To bake a cake. I've never baked a cake. Neither have I. That's where we have the big advantage. Originality. What can we lose?
The contest.
Is there a cookbook around here? Right in front of you. There you go. There must be dozens of cakes.
Look under prize winners.
Orange raisin cake. Fruit cake.
How about a fruit cake?
Mom baked a banana sponge cake with chocolate in it. Don't you think she'd be a little suspicious if it turned into a fruit cake? Tutti frutti cake. Spice cake. Here we are. Banana sponge cake. Kathy, you give the directions and we'll bake the cake. Right. We need 2 9-inch layer pans. Melt 4 ounces chocolate.
I'll get the chocolate and the milk.
I'll get all the other things. Take a cup of milk. A cup of flour. A teaspoon of salt. Separate eggs.
Okay.
You're a giant. Separate the white from the yolk.
Why? You eat it all at the same time, don't you?
Come on. I smell something burning. Add the chocolate to the milk and the flour. Smells pretty good. I think it's beginning to be a cake. 2 cups of sugar. 2 cups of sugar.
What's a tisp of vanilla? A tisp is a teaspoon. Why don't they say so?
4 egg whites. The whites are already in. I better add more eggs. Beat until fluffy, but not dry. I'll get it. You keep going. Hi, Mrs. Davis.
Hello, Patty. Is your mother at home?
No, she's at the hairdresser.
Really? Well, I thought she'd be baking her cake for the bazaar.
She already baked it.
Well, I just dropped by to show her mine and to take a peek at hers.
don't think she'd want anybody to see her cake right now.
Oh, is she entering something special this year?
Yeah. It's kind of a dark horse.
Oh, I'm afraid mine is just the usual. Well, I wish her luck. I know how much winning means to her. She seems so disappointed that I win every year, poor dear. We even made a little bet on it this year.
A bet?
Yes. If my cake wins, your mother and father take us to dinner in the theater. And if your mother's cake wins, we take them to dinner in the theater. Well, you'll tell her I dropped by to wish her luck, won't you?
I will.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you at the bazaar.
We need a bigger cake. Why? Because Mrs. Davis was just here and she's entering a giant. This is gonna look like a pygmy. Okay. A lot more flour. Milk. Give me some more eggs. Well, I think we've got all the ingredients in. And then some.
Maybe a few raisins would make it taste better.
What do you think? I don't think anything could hurt that. I better get the raisins. Chocolate chips are always good. What about a few nuts? Sure, let's live a little.
Nuts, raisins, chocolate chips.
I forgot the banana. I think it's supposed to be sliced. Oh. They'll never know the difference. I guess we put it in the oven. You didn't mix it. Oh, yeah. It's working. We've done it. Do we have to eat it? If I'd have known baking a cake was this easy, I'd have done it before this. Ross, you go check on the oven. See what the temperature is. 325. Perfect. The batter should be ready.
Our cake just went into orbit.
Okay, in the oven. You know something? This is the lickiest looking cake Mom's ever made.
How long do we have to wait?
Bake 25 minutes. Tell you what, while it's baking, why don't we run and get dressed so we can rush right over to the bazaar? Right. We wouldn't want to keep them waiting for this. Let's cut. I'll get it. Hi, Richie.
Have you looked in the mirror? What have you been doing?
Just baking a cake.
You?
What's the matter with that?
I don't know. I haven't tasted the cake yet.
And you won't. It's going to be entered in the competition at the bazaar.
You're entering a cake in the competition?
Well, it's really my mother's cake. We're entering it in her name.
Who's we're?
Well, Kathy, Ross, and I.
The three of you baked it?
Yeah, it was kind of a community effort.
Brother, does your mother know you're bringing all this joy into her life?
No, and she mustn't find out.
She won't find out from me.
I knew I could count on you.
And you know why she won't find out from me?
Sure, because you're a loyal, trustworthy friend.
Wrong, because I'm chicken. I'm not going to that bazaar.
But you promised to take me.
Patty, you're putting an entry into a contest illegally. I'm not going to become an accessory after the fact. I'll write to you. Bye.
Nobody. Men.
Richard?
Yeah, the cowardly lion. Isn't he taking you to the bazaar? No. He's afraid if he's seen with me, the FBI might crack down on him. You think he's right?
About the FBI?
No, about what we're doing. I mean, is it wrong? Yes. But at least it's for the right reason. You know something, cousin? Sometimes you're a real comfort to me. It's mutual. Let's get rolling. I want to see what that cake looks like. One minute to go.
It is! Hey, do something! I'll bet it's the biggest cake they get.
Yeah. Must have put in too much of something. Maybe we could cut it in half and enter it twice. It won't look so bad once we get the icing on. I forgot all about the icing. All right. Ross, you better get some aprons. Icings. How does this sound? Boiled white icing with cocoa. Terrible. It's gonna taste great. 4 tablespoons cocoa, 2 cups sugar, 1 cup water. Ross, you get the cocoa and the water.
I hope it doesn't explode.
They have a booby price. Let's cut it in half. No, it isn't. Don't you know the Lane motto? Never naive gay up ye. What does that mean? Never give up in pig Latin. I need a banana sponge cake in a hurry.
Oh, what kind of banana sponge cake would you like?
Do you have anything good enough to win a prize?
Oh, well, all of our cakes are good enough to win prizes. How big did you want it?
Oh, bigger than Mrs. Davis's.
What?
Oh, how about this big?
Hmm.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's $4.75.
Oh, don't put it in that. I brought my own box.
Anybody home?
Hello, Uncle Martin.
Oh, hello, Kat. Yeah, I thought you'd be at the bazaar.
We got held up a little.
Ah, well, where's your Aunt Natalie?
She's at the hairdresser.
And Patty?
I have no idea where Patty is. She raced out and said she'd see me at the bazaar.
Well, I'm hungry. Let's go see what's in the kitchen.
No.
I'm not hungry?
I mean, why don't I fix you something?
Well, that's nice of you, Kat, but all I want is some milk and cookies.
Oh, I get it.
No, don't bother.
Oh, it's no bother. Really, it isn't, Uncle Martin.
Kathy, are you feeling all right?
Yes, fine.
Take the Army engineers to clean up this. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, yourself.
How was your day at the office?
Fine. How was your day at home?
Okay. You know how it is.
No. How is it?
You tell him, Kath.
Tell me what?
It's nothing, really.
Kath, if you have a problem, I think maybe you'd better tell me. Now, do you?
Well, yes and no.
Tell me about the yes part.
I don't know if I should. But I guess I'd better. You see, it's like this.
Do you have a banana sponge cake?
Certainly. How big a cake did you want?
bigger than Mrs. Davis's.
Anybody home?
We'd like to enter this in the contest.
Fine. Here's a number for it.
Thank you. Mrs. Lane baked it.
What is it?
It's a cake.
Oh.
I'd like to enter a cake.
All right.
I'd like to enter it under the name of Natalie Lane.
Here's your number.
Thank you.
Is there still time to enter a cake?
Yes.
It's for Natalie Lane.
She's been busy, hasn't she?
Oh,
darling, I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, have you? Well, I've been looking all over for you, too.
I think we'd better get started. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. The cake contest is about to begin.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, Patty, did you get my cake here all right?
To tell you the truth, Mom.
To tell you the truth, Natalie, you don't have a thing to worry about. You're gonna win.
Patty! Patty!
Richard, you came.
Yeah, I decided you might need me.
You're all heart.
Have they caught up with you yet?
Of course, now. Everything's going fine. We haven't a thing to worry about. Come on.
Hello, Martin. Natalie, have you decided where you're taking us to eat tomorrow night?
Why don't we wait until the judge picks the winner, Mrs. Davis?
Oh, we're very fortunate this year in the selection of our judge. A really great expert has agreed to serve, Mr. Hubert Brown.
Yes. Shall we begin?
Mom, let's get out of here.
That's a marvelous idea. I'll take us all out for a Chinese dinner.
They haven't even picked the winner yet.
No, but they picked the loser.
Interesting. A little lumpy. Better luck next time. My. Oh, here's a pretty one. Mm-hmm. And it retails for $4.75. $6.25. Our special of the week. Oh, look at these masterpieces.
One of those is mine.
We've come down to the experts.
I think one of them's mine.
No, it isn't, Mom. I faked out on you.
The texture is perfect. Excellent, excellent.
Thank you.
The texture is perfect, and the flavor is marvelous. This is the winner. Where's number 8?
I do.
Where did you buy it?
I baked it. When I got home, I found my kitchen was a disaster area, and then Mr. Brown was nice enough to call and tell me about the unusual run on banana sponge cake.
Oh, speech!
I never could have done it without the help of my family.
Is that a beauty? And I baked it with my own little hands. With a little help from your mother.
Oh, I contributed a little know-how.
Come on, the meeting's gonna start in a few minutes. Gee, sis, I sure appreciate your baking this for the Scouts party.
Boy Scouts have to eat, too. I hope they enjoy it.
They will.
We'll all help you.
Where is everybody? Anybody home?
Oh, no!
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two.
They're not necking. I checked.
I didn't know Richard got up this early. Must be a crisis afoot.
With Richard, everything is a crisis.
There's one thing I love about Richard. He's temporary. It's like having a toothache. Such a lovely feeling when it's gone.
Hi, Gil.
Good morning, dear.
Sorry. It was important. Guess what Richard wanted to tell me?
He's decided to run for mayor.
Better than that.
He's decided to run for governor.
He's decided to give me his school ring.
And you said no.
I said yes.
Well, then I say no.
Momo,
Momo says no.
why can't I wear his ring?
Because you're too young to get engaged.
A ring doesn't mean we're engaged. It just means we're going steady.
All right, you're too young to go steady.
I won't wear it on my finger. I'll wear it around my neck. Like a yoke. It's no yoke, I'll say. Do you realize I'm the only girl in my whole entire class who isn't wearing a boy's ring?
Look at it this way. They're all out of step but you. Your cousin Kathy isn't wearing anybody's ring.
Nobody's asked me.
Kathy, do you think Patty should wear Richard's ring?
I don't see what harm it would do, Aunt Natalie. They couldn't be together any more than they are now anyway. That's right. It doesn't change anything. It just means I've acquired a status symbol.
Richard, a status symbol?
To me, he's a status symbol. What do you say? Please.
Well, I guess if it wouldn't change anything, well, what do you think?
Well, if it isn't going to make any difference, I guess there's no harm in it.
Thanks. You're the most understanding parents in the world. Isn't it a beauty?
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bouquets, different as night and day.
Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet russe, and crepe Suzette.
Our Patty loves to rock and roll, a hot dog makes her lose control. What a wild duet, still they're cousins, identical cousins, and you find they laugh alike,
They walk alike,
at times they even talk alike. You can lose your mind when cousins are two of a kind.
Hello? Burglars? Anybody home?
I'm here.
Heidi, hi, Mr. Lane.
Heidi, hi, Richard.
You want some popcorn?
You haven't seen Mrs. Lane, have you?
She's in the kitchen making dinner. We're having a surprise.
We're having a surprise?
Yeah, I'm having dinner here.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Now that Patty's wearing my ring, there's really not much reason for me to leave. I mean, all I have at home are my parents.
Well, you mustn't neglect them, Richard. Honor thy father and thy mother.
I do. It's just that we irritate one another.
Nevertheless, dinner time is when families like to be together.
Oh, I know that. And I sure appreciate your having me here. I'll get it. Hello? Patty? Who's calling her? Oh, hi, Billy. Well, there's no point in you calling her anymore. I gave her my ring today. Yeah. Tough luck, old man. Why don't you try Alice? She's a little tubby, but she's a great cook. Yeah. Bye. That's the 4th phone call Patty's got in the last 20 minutes. Boy, she sure used to be popular.
But not anymore.
Well, there's not much point in other guys calling her. She's only going to see little old me.
How does little old you feel about not seeing any other little old girls?
Well, if I didn't feel it was the right move, I wouldn't have given her my ring, Mr. Lane. It's a pretty serious step.
Let's hope it's not fatal.
What?
Nothing.
Hi, Papa. Hello, Richard.
Hello, darling.
We should be eating any minute.
Good. I'm starved. We eat earlier at my house. What did you do to your hair?
Oh, I'm just wearing it a little differently. Don't you like it?
No. Go back to the way it was.
I like it that way.
I'll change it.
That blouse isn't my favorite color either. I like blue.
I'll remember. Papa, can I have $5?
No. And what is it I'm not giving you $5 for?
A new blouse.
You've already exceeded your clothing allowance now.
Hello, darling.
Oh, hello, dear.
I made your favorite dish tonight.
Good.
I meant Richard's favorite dish. Well, dinner's ready. Shall we go in?
Yeah.
You should have heard him, Natalie. He's monitoring her phone calls, criticizes her hair and her clothes.
All this will settle down. It's just the first flush of his feeling possessive about her.
What kind of a home life does that boy have anyway? You know, I've never met Richard's father, but 10 to 1, he's trying to imitate him. His father must be a domineering type, one of those natural-born critics. And black-eyed peas give me heartburn.
I'm sorry. Richard likes them so, and I wanted to please him for Patty's sake. Tomorrow night, he won't mind if we have one of your favorites.
Are you trying to tell me that Richard is having dinner with us again tomorrow night?
Patty invited him.
No wonder boys want girls to wear their rings. Solves their eating and housing problems.
It's gonna be cuckoo.
Yeah. I could use some socks, too.
Hello? Hi, Greg. Saturday night? No, I couldn't. You see, I'm... A freshman from Harvard? No, Greg, I'm sorry. I couldn't go out with him. You see, he plays football. He's the captain of the chess team. He's in town to take a screen test for MGM. Oh, he first wants to finish his medical course.
He sounds like a drag.
Greg, I'm sorry, but he'll have to find another date. You see, I'm wearing someone's ring. Richard's. What's so funny?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Greg. Kathy!
Boy, he's got a fat nerve phoning you.
Kathy, do you have a date Saturday night? No, but You do now. Hello, Greg? Tell him he's got me. Or the closest thing you'll ever find to me. That's right. My cousin Kathy. Sure, he'll be crazy about her. Well, she can talk to him about chess, and I'll explain to her what a football is. Right. Okay, Greg. Bye. He's taking you to a prom Saturday night. Who is he? Oh, he's not much. He's just a combination of Troy Donahue, John Glenn, and Ben Casey. Thank you, Patty. Perhaps we can double date. No, thank you. There's a big karate match on television Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, well, enjoy it.
If that's another one of those guys, why don't you tell him just to butt out?
Hello? It's for you.
Oh, I guess Mom's beginning to miss me. Mom? Oh, hi, Sue Ellen. Easter week? Well, I'm pretty busy. You see, your father's taking a bunch of kids for a cruise on his yacht? Oh, it sounds great, but you're all going water skiing and swimming and... Yeah, I get the picture, but I'm afraid I can't. I've given up yachting. I mean, I've given my ring to Patty.
I wondered when you'd get around to mentioning it.
Maybe next Easter. I mean, better luck next time.
Are we going to a movie? Yeah.
No.
I guess not. You go ahead, Kath. But you two have been sitting in every night.
It's very relaxing. I enjoy it. Boy, that was a great dinner. You know, I think I'm gaining weight.
Why don't we watch television?
Sure, we could tune in Channel 11. They're giving karate lessons.
But there's a good comedy show on.
What's the matter? Aren't you interested in karate?
Of course. But we're watching the comedy show.
Well, I'd rather watch karate.
Let's not watch television at all.
It's all right with me.
Excuse me.
Richard really seems to be enjoying my cooking.
Yeah. I've never seen anyone have 7 helpings of mashed potatoes before.
Oh, thank you, Kathy.
Has it gone yet?
No. I don't like what's happening to Patty.
What do you mean?
Well, she and Richard seem to do nothing but fuss at one another.
I know. They might as well be married.
And what exactly do you mean by that?
Oh, now, honey, I didn't mean it the way it sounded. You know, Patty's a little young for all this. Why in the world do kids your age want to get tied down?
Well, I suppose it also means you get tied up. If a girl is going steady, she knows she always has a date. She never has to be alone unless she wants to be. She has someone to share things with.
I just don't like the idea of Patty's not seeing anyone but Richard.
Neither do I. What are we going to do about it?
So what if I call Richard's father and had a little talk with him?
Yeah, that might be a very good idea.
What's his father's name?
Jonathan. Jonathan Harrison.
Hello? Jonathan Harrison? How are you, Mr. Harrison? We were just discussing you. They were just discussing us. You would? Well, Richard's here right now. You'd rather wait until he's left. Just a minute. What's Richard's schedule? I mean, what time does he depart?
He'll be going home at about 10 o'clock.
Could you come by after 10? Fine. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Bye-bye.
Lane? Harrison.
How do you do?
Has Richard gone?
Yeah. Patty's walking him home. This is Richard's father, Mrs. Lane, our niece Kathy.
How do you do?
I'm going to be blunt, folks. My son, Richard, is too young to be going steady.
So is our daughter, Patty.
Mr. Harrison, if you feel he's too young, why did you allow it?
Because he came home with some cock and bull story about being an old maid if he didn't give a girl his ring. He made it sound like he was the last teenager on Earth who wasn't going steady. Mrs. Harrison and I didn't want to destroy his life, so we gave in.
That's the story at our house, too.
They keep outsmarting us.
Richard's a big disappointment to me.
I would think so.
Yep. Everyone told the missus and me that when he got to be 16, he'd get moody and withdrawn, and we'd have no communication with him.
Well, that happens sometimes with teenagers.
We weren't one of the lucky ones. It didn't happen to us.
It didn't?
No. And we were really counting on it, too. He communicates with us night and day. He wants a new car, a bigger allowance, more clothes. Boy, does he communicate. And there's no way to turn him off.
I know what you mean.
Since he gave Patty his ring, he's never at home anymore. I like it, but his mother wants him back.
Why?
Mothers. The question is, what are we going to do about it? You'd think he was married. The last few days, he's been walking around like he's carrying the weight of the world.
Maybe it's all those mashed potatoes.
You said it. That's the solution.
Mashed potatoes?
No, getting married. Papa.
I forgot my key.
Oh.
Hello, darling.
Richard's here.
Good, good. It's a beauty, all right. You're a lucky girl. Your Richard kind of grows on you. Hi, Rich.
Oh, hello, Mr. Lane.
No. Make yourself at home. I brought you the evening paper.
Well, thank you.
It's all right, my boy. Anytime I can do anything for you, you let me know. That's what I'm here for.
Oh, that's sure nice of you, Mr. Lane.
We've never really gotten to know one another, Richard. Patty feels the way she does about you. You must have a number of wonderful qualities.
That's correct, sir, I have. Patty's got great judgment.
I know she has.
Sandwich, sir?
Not before dinner. Well, I'm very glad to see that Patty is finally settling down.
You don't have to worry about Patty.
No, not anymore. I have you to thank for that.
I haven't done anything.
You've done more than you know, my boy. Yes, sir. The idea of marriage can do wonderful things to a girl.
The idea of marriage?
That's right, son. I've never seen Patty so happy.
Mr. Lane, Patty's a very happy girl. I mean, it has nothing to do with me. She's just naturally happy.
You're modest. I like that.
I wouldn't want you to have a misunderstanding about the ring. I mean, it's just a ring.
Richard, a ring is the oldest known symbol of unity in our civilization.
Not when you wear it around your neck.
Different groups, different customs.
Oh, I'm afraid you have the wrong idea. I'm not ready to get married. Ask my father. He'd kill me.
I did.
You did what?
Talk to your father. He came over here last night.
My father came here? What was he sore about?
Not a thing. You know how it is when families are about to merge. The parents like to get together and talk things over.
When families are about to merge?
Your father loves the idea of Patty as a daughter-in-law.
My father said that?
Of course, we talked about giving you a little financial help the first year or two, but your father says you're the kind of a boy who likes to stand on his own 2 feet. I must say I admire you for that.
Mr. Lane, I think...
Well, I think I'll go see what's cooking. I'll bet your mother-in-law has fixed one of your favorite dishes.
My mother-in-law?
We're going to be around each other for a good many years, huh? You know how it is when families are about to merge, son. Parents like to get together and talk things over. I'll bet your mother-in-law is fixing one of your favorite dishes, huh, son?
Richard. Richard? Richard? I brought you some more sandwiches.
Why?
To eat. I want you to fit my sweater.
Yeah, that's another thing. Knitting me a sweater and socks? Boy, how stupid can a man be? I never even suspected what was behind it.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what happens when two families merge.
Who's merging?
Nobody, that's who. Even if our families do want us to get married.
You flipped.
Oh, no. My father came over here last night to make the arrangements.
He what?
That's right.
It's a beauty, all right. You're a lucky girl. Richard kind of grows on you.
Nothing. Excuse me. Are you busy, Daddy?
Come on in. Tell me about your problem.
How did you know I had a problem?
Because when life is a bowl of cherries, you call me Popo. Now, what's the matter, honey?
If I say something, will you promise not to say I told you so?
I promise.
I'm not ready to go steady.
I told you so.
How do I get out of it?
Why don't you simply tell Richard how you feel about it?
No, that'd break his heart.
I see. Well, we couldn't do that, could we? Suppose that I have a talk with Richard and tell him that your mother and I feel that you're too young to be going steady.
That's the coward's way out. Will you do it?
I'll be delighted.
Thanks, Papa.
Mr. Lane?
Come in, Richard.
Patty said you wanted to see me.
That's right, son.
I wish you wouldn't call me son. It makes me nervous. Mr. Lane, I need your help.
Well, what's your problem?
Patty.
What's the matter? Aren't you two getting along?
Oh, we get along too well. I mean, I'm too young to be going steady. I've got my whole life ahead of me. Only I don't know how to get out of this.
I see. Well, they say that honesty is the best policy. Why don't you just tell Patty how you feel?
What? Break her poor little heart?
Of course. Suppose that I put my foot down and tell Patty that I think she's too young to be going steady.
Would you do that?
Well, I can't promise anything, but I'll try.
Oh, thanks a million, Mr. Lane.
Thank you. You're very welcome.
Just one thing. Be gentle with her.
Where's Patty?
Getting dressed. She's going out tonight.
Who does she have a date with?
Well, from the parts of telephone conversations I've overheard, it's the president of the senior class, a swimming champion, or a senator's son. The phone hasn't stopped ringing all day.
Yeah, it's like old times.
Hi, group. You look beautiful.
Thanks, Mom.
I haven't seen you look this happy in weeks.
Ever since Richard took his ring back, I felt like a new woman.
For a while, I thought he was going to be my brother-in-law. Gee, I was scared.
I think we were all a little scared.
That's my date. I better go. He hates to be kept waiting.
Patty, bring him in for a moment so we can at least say hello.
Sure.
I've never seen such a change in anyone.
Isn't it lovely?
I want to meet this boy.
Like hi.
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square.
But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair, but they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find they laugh alike,
They walk alike, at times they even talk alike.
you can lose your mind when cousins